Alright, so hi guys, a very warm welcome everyone joining us here at BYJU'S Exam Prep. Welcome everyone. Very good evening, all of you joining us live. Guys, today we are here to discuss what have we learned from the past year papers of CLAT. If we talk about 2021 or 2022 and even 2020, we have three previous CLAT papers based on which we can now prepare for the year 2023. There are lots of mistakes that you could have done, which you obviously would be benefited. Of course, if you're watching this session, you would be avoiding all the mistakes that you could have actually done. So let's go. Let's start. Let's see what are the things that one should keep in mind if you're preparing for the year 2023. Guys, if you have already subscribed to our channel, well done, good job, great. If not, do subscribe immediately so that you do not miss out on any such important video. All right, so let's go. Let's start. Hi everyone, welcome, welcome, welcome. Do share this video with all your friends so that everyone joins us real quick. All right, so let's go. When we are talking about BYJU'S exam prep, it is obviously very important for me to state this, that if you enroll here, so you study here with us, there are lots of benefits that are attached. What are they? They include recorded videos. There are 330 plus recorded videos available for you. Obviously, there are lots of live classes. You can see 200 plus live hours, live sessions will be there. 9,000 plus practice questions you'll get. The CLAT Ignite monthly GK magazine you can avail, and you'll get 25 mock tests, which will include rather 45 mock tests, which will include both CLAT as well as other mock tests, which include ALET and SLAT and other exams. All right, so if you have not downloaded already, do download the BYJU'S Exam Prep app. Now, if we look at our success for the year 2022, you can see lots of students ask this. So the data is still being collected. So till the time it is compiled, this is what you can see. The toppers in the top two colleges of the country. Now let's quickly look at the snapshot for the year 2022. Now, when we are talking about CLAT 2022, there are lots of things that I'm sure you guys have also seen. Chaliye. Yes, so yeah, bilkul, absolutely, I agree with all of you. Lots of you do have your opinions. I'm sure you guys have appeared for the CLAT exam. Some of you would be would have not attempted it yet, but you must have seen the analysis videos if we talk about this. So you can see when we're talking about CLAT 2022, it was conducted on the 19th of June. It was an offline center based exam. You can see the lengthiest section. Now it was verbal ability. For most of you, I'm sure you are aware, legal reasoning has been a little you can say on the lengthier side. Usually if we talk about previous year papers, including both if I talk about both the exams, CLAT as well as ALET, legal reasoning is on the lengthier side, time consuming it is often, right? So in this exam as well, it was comparatively the difficulty level was of course much more doable if we compare it to last year, but it was lengthy for sure. English was quite lengthy. All the students unanimously shared the same. All right. Okay, so moving on, you can see total number of passages. There are 56,472 aspirants appeared. So there were close to 60,000 people who filled the forms. Now we all know that lots of these students who were lots of the students who were preparing for CLAT specific preparation only, but they were doing the most required things, which include reading a lot and lot, of course, verbal ability. The entire paper at 30 passages. So 30 passages means more than 20,000 words you were supposed to read, right? So it's a lot and lots of reading, of course, which is expected out of all of you. So what does CLAT actually test? It tests right now our reading ability, right? How good are we when we talk about reading, right? Now, in the general awareness section, most of the questions were discussed in the classes and CLAT Ignite magazine, which also include the YouTube sessions, of course. So current affairs, from which month current affairs? You can start from if you want to have real good command over current affairs, over general awareness, last 12 to 15 months are very important for us. So you can start off from the month of October, right? October onwards you can start of the year 2021. Otherwise, if you already covered that, you can start from January 2021 as well, right? So last 12 months, this is the bare minimum that you're supposed to do. Not just 6 months, 12 months. We saw all the questions that came in the last year. The same review or the video is available here on the BYJU'S Exam Prep channel. So please look at it. All right. Now, sir, 6 months GK would be enough, or from January? No, beta. No shortcuts. From January, you have to study. You are going to appear for 2024. All right, very good. So, how to prepare from previous months current affairs. All right. So, the months which I've already, which the newspapers obviously you will get for the current days. But if you're talking about previous months, you can cover it from the CLAT Ignite magazine, right? So, CLAT Ignite magazine is to be used. All right, so let's move on from here. All right, if we look at the exam structure, this is the exam structure for 2021 as well, 2020, 2022, and of course it will be the same in the year 2023. English language, there were 6 passages, 30 questions. Current affairs, 35. Legal, logical, quantitative techniques, you can see the number of passages in total were obviously 30, right? 150 questions. Most of the students were not able to complete the entire paper in the stipulated amount of time. That is definitely the case. All right. Good evening, guys. Do share this video with all your friends so that everyone joins us real quick. All right. Now, when we talk about the lessons from CLAT 2022, let's go. Let's start reading them one by one. The first challenge, or the first challenge any individual faces, is lack of regular reading habit. Now, this is something which most of the students face. Now, this exam definitely checks our reading habit more than anything else. More than our knowledge, our reading habit is what is mattered. All right. So now, second most important lesson for us is mathematics is a section that can make a difference. It is a section which cannot be ignored at any cost, right? You can't ignore mathematics no matter what happens, right? So very important this is. Of course, vocab is needed. If we talk about English, it is not just for specific vocab related questions, but to read properly, to read smoothly all the passages, you have to have good command over vocabulary, right? More than half the test is obviously about reading comprehension. You know how much reading is involved, so you must be real good at reading comprehensions. Practice it on a regular basis, right? This is definitely something which I will recommend to all of you. Practice as much as possible, right? Now, vocab, practice reading comprehensions. We know that out of 150, majority questions are reading comprehension based. Superficial cramming of facts is not a good idea. Do not start mugging up things. It's not required for this exam. Sir, I make notes for GK in the notebook, but I didn't read it again. Then should I make notes in digital form? You can make it as you please. You can make the digital notes. You can make the physical notes. I would definitely recommend you that physical notes are something that should be considered, right? Physical notes, why? Because when you revise as well, it is much easier for you to read when you have your physical notes. Plus, when you write them down, you are feeding data to your brain, and the brain will definitely help you crack any and everything that comes your way, any problem, any obstacle. Now, in case you lots of times you must have given mock tests. When you give all these mock tests, when you look at a particular option, when you look at a particular question, when you start marking A, B, C, D, whatever, sometimes your subconscious memory comes to your aid and helps you that this is the correct option, this is the correct option, it's either C, it is B, it is A, it is D, right? So this help which you get through your subconscious memory, it is all because of result of writing and revising. All right, so please tell me, from which section should we start? You can start with general awareness, you can start with any other section, but my advice would be general awareness, because in 5 to 10 minutes you are done with the entire section. You have saved lots of time. Now 1 hour 50 odd minutes you have, and you have only 4 more sections to go. So confidence you'll get in finishing one section in real less amount of time. All right, now in new format, cracking CLAT is a little tough, but not impossible. What do you need to do? You have to put in some effort here, right? Yes, you've heard that people are preparing for 1 year and and a long time. Yes, definitely people who have less command over reading, they should start off immediately. You can't wait any longer. You can't wait that I'll do it at a later stage. Good command over reading is must, right? This is also very important. Good command over reading is absolutely a must. Current affairs and legal, you have to be regular, updated on current affairs and latest trends. If we talk about legal, must have basic knowledge of bare acts. Basic knowledge of bare acts is required, right? So this is learning. Now let's talk about subject wise, one by one. Let's start off with English language. When we talk about verbal ability, when we talk about English, then it has lots of similarity with logical reasoning. All right. So, sir, when should we attempt English section? See, to identify your attempt order, it is very important for you to give multiple mock tests. Right. When you give multiple mock tests, you get an idea of how to go about things. When you give multiple mock tests in various strategies, you can you can start off with general awareness and see how does it how does it go for you. But thumb rule is that when you start any section, when you start general awareness or any other section, the idea is that the section should be your strongest. In the first hour of your attempt, start with the strongest sections, right? So yes, we all know there's not a lot of difference between verbal ability and logical reasoning now. Lots of reading is involved, and in both you'll find that will be similar sounding questions as well, right? Argument, understanding the arguments, deductive reasoning, and all of these. On an average, how much do students score in their first mock? Why do we care how others score? Right? Don't worry about it. Right now, in your first mock, you should not never think on these lines. In the first mock, I scored 70, I scored 50, I scored 10. Does not matter. The first mock is to help you acclimatize to the pattern and the difficulty level of completing the entire exam in the space of 2 hours. So this is what should be focused on right now, and do not worry too much about your scores. Now, the third is in English. Obviously, in English, reading comprehension, it involves good understanding of vocabulary as well as grammar. So this is also very important. Now, mastering reading comprehensions will help the aspirant in clearing not only the English language section but the entire CLAT exam. So you can see here, entire CLAT exam can be you'll get obviously a great advantage if you are good at reading comprehensions. Now, How can you be good at reading? Now, how can you improve your reading? Sai has asked a very good question here. So the answer to this is, how can you improve on your reading ability? It is through sheer practice, right? The more practice you do, the more questions you do, the more exercises you do, the more confidence you will get, right? So start off with BYJU'S exam preps, RC practice questions that are available on the app. So you can start with the same. There are lots of questions which are available on the internet as well. You can browse through them as well. You can use all the other sources that we have provided for you. Sir, is it necessary to go to a coaching center to get into top national universities? It is just about having a proper mentorship, proper guidance with you. See, you can know that what is asked in the exam, right? So you just do a little research. You'll get to know that what is required to ace the exam. You need to study these subjects. This is the syllabus. But the idea is that when someone who's been there, done that, who's a mentor, who can guide you as to where you can channelize your energy. You can study for 8 hours, but you're studying 6 hours the things that are not relevant for the exam. So it is important to also understand what is not important with respect to your exam, and that is where mentors come in. They help you eliminating things which are not important with respect to your exam. And so I will definitely recommend that do join in a reputed coaching institution. You can join BYJU'S exam prep, of course, or any such other leading coaching institution. Sir, please tell from which month we should start the mocks. You can start off right now, buddy. You can definitely start right now. Why to wait any longer? Guys, in this session, I'll be sharing you lots of tips as well, which will help you crack the exam as well. Guys, the CLAT 2022 learnings from legal reasoning section. Now, if we look at the legal reasoning section, this section is, you can see, expects you to have basic idea about important legal terms, as well as some important key concepts, which include, say for example, either it can come from law of torts, it can be the postal rule in contract, or any such other criminal law related question can be there. You should have basic understanding so that you can quickly come to the conclusion, right? When we talk about legal reasoning, if a person is absolutely clear with his concepts or her concepts, and if you have practiced a lot, you've done previous year question papers as well, there is nothing that can stop your way, that nothing that can stop you from acing the exam. Sir, can you recommend some sources to prepare for GK? There are 5 sources, buddy. Number 1 is your classes, right? Number 2 is your YouTube videos, of course. Number 3, the most important, CLAT Ignite. The CLAT Ignite magazine is very important. Monthly magazine, this is to be considered. 4th is your newspapers. Develop a habit of reading newspapers regularly. And the last source for all of you, very important one, is to give mock tests. Mock tests, the questions that are asked in the mocks, they are also source for our general awareness, right? When we talk about general awareness, this is how you complete your preparation. Sir, I can understand, Karthik, you feel distracted when you're reading for a long time, or reading a long passage, a lengthy passage, right? It requires certain skills and habits. So it is not easy to form habit in just a few days. It is important that you start right now, so that by the end of November, December, you have this habit. It is important to have this habit, because the exam tests our reading skills more than anything else. Now, you can see here, reasoning capabilities are to be developed. One can rely only on the old ways of principal fact-based questions. Now we know, when we talk about the previous year pattern, 2008 to 2019, the pattern was different. In 2020, the pattern changed. The 2020 onwards pattern did not have specific principal fact-based questions, but in the passage that was there, in the questions that followed, we saw that still there were many such questions which came in the exam, even in A-Late and SLAT and other exams. So yes, this is very important. Make sure that you keep this in mind. All right, let's move on from here. Next, when we look at mathematics, the first mistake that people do is ignore this section. Or this is 15 marks of laddu that you are getting. Why to ignore it? Never ever ignore it, right? You can see we have shared in the chat the PDF of CLAT Ignite for the month of June 2022. So do check this out. So do not ignore mathematics as a section. Number two, practice sets on the class exercises. So whatever you have studied in a particular class, it is important for you to revise it again, revisit it again, and do questions based on the same. All the questions are available on the BYJU'S exam prep platform, so do check that out. Difficulty level maths of difficulty level is you can say of classes 9th and 10th, right? That is the level of difficulty. There will be no integration differentiation, so even if you are from non-maths background, no need to worry at all. 15 marks can definitely make the difference between top national universities or no national university at all. Of course, don't ignore mathematics. This is a key learning. Sir, is the score 7.75 good enough in maths? Beta, abhi, you should aim at 15, right? Aim for 15. Why are you, uh, you know, okay, I think you have scored this much, and we are in the month of July and you already scored 7.75. If we talk about today, exactly how much time is left for your exam? So 5 months are left, right? So make sure that from 7.75 in the next 5 months, you reach 15. You double your score almost approximately. You double it. So that is what you are, what you should aim for. All right. So these were the highlights. Obviously, keep them in mind while preparing. Now, some important tips which I definitely want to share with all of you. Number one, the goal should be in front of you. The goal should be in front of you. This is the number one tip that I want to share with all of you, right? Now, what do you mean by this? Write it on a piece of paper, right? Write your goal, the dream college, the college that you want to go in. Just write it on a piece of paper, stick it on the wall where you can see it while studying. Every time you feel like not studying, you feel like bored, just have a look at that. Obviously, everything in your capabilities, you'll be really pumped, and you'll start off again, right, with the same enthusiasm. So make sure you do this. This obviously helps in making sure that we remember our goal, why we began at the first place. Revise as much as possible, guys. Whatever you study, things will be new to you, things will be different, so make sure you're revising frequently. Very important this is. Drown yourself in mocks, as many mocks as possible. Give as many mocks as possible from as many sources as possible. This is definitely a must for all of you. Practice in the form of questions. The more questions you can do, the better it is. Everywhere, anywhere, wherever you get these questions, make sure you attack. Right, sir, where can I download the CLAT Ignite magazine? We have shared the link with you, buddy. You can download it from here as well. All right. Next is study a day in advance. I was sharing this with some students in my last class. So I figured that this is a very important tip, and I should definitely share this with all of you. Guys, study a day in advance is when you are, when you have started your preparation, when you're attending live classes, you know that what the teacher will be teaching tomorrow, on the other day, or wherever the next class is. You know what the teacher will be teaching. So whatever is to be taught the next day, study that a day in advance. So for example, tomorrow, if there is a class on compound interest, so you have to practice compound interest at your home. If the class is on torts, in nuisance, so you are supposed to practice and read about nuisance before you go to the class. When you do this, obviously you will not understand 100% just by doing it yourself. Even if you understand 30%, when you go to the class, everything that the teacher says will definitely, everything that there is about that particular topic, you will understand everything. This tip is the most important tip for all of you. Read physical copy of the newspapers. Lots of students did not follow this and were in great trouble. So because when we talk about reading newspapers, it is not just about current affairs, it is not just about building your vocab, but it also builds your reading habit, it also builds your reading speed, right? So reading newspapers is the best thing that you can do on a daily basis. Form this habit, read a lot, and of course you get truckloads of benefits doing the same. How much hours should we study to crack CLAT? Very good question this is, buddy. So if we talk about the hours that you need to put in for CLAT 2023, let's start off with people who are there with their preparing with their 12th. Obviously you'll find you'll find your school as well. So that's why I'll say, if with school, if you can spare regularly, consistently 5 to 6 hours, 4 to 6 hours, you're definitely doing a good job. But those 4 hours, 6 hours should be really productive. That is to be remembered. If you are someone who can spare more time, right, the school pressures and everything are not there for you, give it your all, right, 8 hours and more, whatever you can spare, right, the more the better, right. But make sure you don't burn yourself out. Don't study for 15 hours on the first day, and the second day you are tired and you can't study for the next 4 days, 5 days. That should not be the case, right. Consistency should be there. In my locality, the Hindu or Indian Express is not available, so need to read soft copy. That is okay. You can read the soft copy, but if any other English leading English newspaper is available, you can opt for that as well, for our reading habits, of course. Now, guys, is the time to ask any question that you have in your mind. Anything that you want to ask, please feel free. This is the time. All right. Whatever doubts you have in your mind, you can ask. All the doubts can be answered. How to crack the exam? One word answer is this, guys. Read as much as you can. Read as many times as you can. The idea is to read the entire CLAT paper before submitting the OMR, right. When you fill the OMR sheets, when you fill the answer sheets, it's very important for us to attempt as many questions as possible. The more questions we attempt, the more chances of us getting a better great national university. All right. So for that, obviously your reading skills are the number one thing that need to be worked upon. So this you have to keep in mind. Sir, what about GK? It's from which month? You can start from January 2022, just like I shared with you. Now, guys, if you haven't liked this video already, please hit the like button quickly. Hit the comment section as well. Go to the comment section, write in all your queries that you have for your exam, and we'll be more than happy to answer them for you. So please guide us, what we will do. We don't know the answer. What is the question? Buddy, question to pucho aap. Ask the question first, Karthik. Sir, I'm not able to do GK regularly, so monthly compendiums from 2 sources enough for that month. Buddy, if you were not able to do it for the past months, that is okay, understandable. But you can't do it any more longer, right? You can't push it any longer. You should start doing current affairs for the current month starting from now, right? Don't always rely on the CLAT Ignite magazine or any other such source. CLAT Ignite magazine is a great source for the previous months. Sir, how to prepare CR and quants? I'm weak at this. Good question, buddy. So CR, if we look at critical reasoning again, it is about practice, right? It is about practice and conceptual clarity. You should know all the tricks and tips that our teachers or the mentors share with you. So all of the learnings that they'll be sharing will be on the YouTube as well, which will be there on our app as well. So quickly download the app and subscribe to our YouTube channel to keep watching videos like this. सर अगर मैं क्वेश्चन नहीं आता तो पेपर में हम क्या करें? If you don't know the answer, don't mark. Of course. If you don't know the answer, don't mark. If you are confused between two options, always mark. Right? If you're confused between two options, mark. If you have no idea, chuck it, leave it. All right. Now, if we if we talk about the most important learning for us is to not ignore any subject. Every person has their strength and weaknesses, right? Strong sections, weak sections, everyone has this. So don't worry. If maths is weak, you feel it is weak, you still have good 4 months and more to prepare. So make sure that nothing comes in your way, even if CR or maths or GK or legal, whatever subject you're facing difficulties in, there's ample amount of time to rectify the same and get a great command over the subjects, right? you're preparing for Kerala Law Entrance exam. All the best for that as well. But do make sure you are appearing for CLAT, right, and keeping that as your number one preference. So, guys, that's it from us here at BYJU'S Exam Prep. Uh, I believe I've answered all your queries here on the chat. If you have any other queries, feel free to reach out in the comments of this video. We will meet again in the next session. Till then, take care. Goodbye. Sayonara. Thank you so much, guys. Bye bye. Take care. And make sure you follow all the learnings that were discussed here in this session. Bye bye. Thank you.